Mrs. Holmes here. We're gonna put our saxophone away. So the first thing is take the mouthpiece off, and you're gonna take the reed apart, not the reed apart, but the mouthpiece apart. By taking off the ligature, loosening it, taking the reed off. If you have a plastic mouth or plastic reed cover, that would work fine. If there's excess moisture, I haven't played on this, but if there's extra moisture in the reed, you can either, I actually just wipe it on my pants and get that extra moisture off, and then I put it in the reed case, usually. So I'm just gonna put it in my case right now because, okay. Now, this is a cleaning kit that you can purchase at a music store. It has various things in it, and I'm gonna talk about a couple of the things in depth in this video. First of all, there's cork grease, which we talked about. You can put on your cork. It's not chapstick, it tastes yicky. Don't put on your lips. I mean, you can. You could maybe tease your siblings, like, hey, you want some chapstick? Ugh. So, chapstick, no. Cork grease, yes. I'm gonna rip this open like an animal and get all my stuff out. Don't worry, I'll pick up the trash later. This is just a wipe cloth. If you like get some spittle on your saxophone and you wanna wipe it off, you can use this. It's really its only purpose. You don't need to polish your instrument every day. If you want to wipe off any like spit that gets on it, just so it doesn't tarnish, you can do that. This is Magic Mist, or we call it Decootie Juice. So if you maybe drop your reed on the ground, if you spray some of this on it, it's kind of like disinfecting it, and it'll clean it off and it'll be good to go. This is a kite, which we'll explain in a minute. This is cleaning paper. A lot of woodwinds will get moisture in their keys, and one way is, and this is more advanced, so you don't really need to worry about this right now, but you take a piece of the paper and you kind of put it between the key and the opening and open and close it, and it'll get that moisture out. Now this is my mouthpiece cleaner. You don't have to do this every time, but I would suggest doing it at least once a week. If you go with saxophone, there's no cork on the mouthpiece, so you can go over to a sink, run some water through it, and just clean the inside of your mouthpiece and get the kind of gook out. It'll get this film on the inside that gets nasty. You don't want to play with that in there. There's my cork grease. I'm not gonna take that out. Let's talk about this kite thing. So the kite is basically a piece of fabric attached to a string with a little weight on it so that it can kind of drop. The reason we use these and not this thing is because you can use this if you're really good about cleaning your instrument. But what a lot of kids will do, I know it looks fluffy and you want to touch it and it's new, so it's all like nice like a stuffed animal, but a lot of kids will just put this in their instrument like this, and then they think they're done cleaning. The problem with that is, by just putting that in there, there's still moisture. You're trapping the moisture in the instrument with all those little bristles. And then when you take it out, the bristles will get stuck in your instrument. And over time it builds up like caca, and you don't want that. So these are okay if at first you use your kite, okay? When you use your kite, you're gonna go down the large part of your instrument. I'm gonna undo my neck strap. So be careful when you're doing this not to drop your instrument. So you're gonna take the kite, and on the large end of the saxophone, the bell, you're gonna drop the weighted end down. Make sure that it goes all the way down to the end. As Miss McGinnis likes to say, we're gonna make sure that this is floofy, or make sure it's open. If it's wadded up, it's gonna get stuck in the saxophone. So, making sure that it's nice and open, and then we're gonna turn. There's the end. Make sure you don't drop your saxophone. Floofy should come through quite easily. You can only need to do it once, just to collect the extra moisture that's gathered as you've been playing. Then you can put this in there. The one nice thing about this is that it does act as that stopper. So if you have one of these and you're using it correctly, you don't need the stopper. Just make sure that if you're gonna use the big fluffy thing, the chimney sweep, the big bird arm, I don't know. Make sure that you use your kite first. Now I'm gonna clean up and put all this stuff away. So again, my case is small, so not all of this stuff would fit. I'd have to put some in my backpack or my purse, but you guys might want to have a normal size case so that it's easier. So I've got that. Where's my next piece? My next piece goes in here too. And sometimes it does take time, but you want to take time to put your instrument away correctly and clean it correctly so that it lasts. Instruments can last for a lifetime if you take care of them. Again, this goes in here. My neck strap off. So many times in middle school and in high school, I'd be in class and I'd leave this on and I'd leave. I'd be in my next class, like math class or something, and my friends would be like, "What are you wearing?" Nothing, it's cool. You just wish you were as cool as me. I usually put my neck strap in here if it'll fit, so that doesn't push down on the keys. You wanna make sure that when you close your case, that it closes easily and that none of the keys are inhibited or being pushed down by something else. So don't put your method book in your case. It's going to ruin your instrument and bend the keys over time. Close it up, make sure that all the buckles are closed tightly before you pick up your instrument, nice and tight. I'm ready to go.